What is going on, everybody? This is Jay here from Maji and Jay, and as you guys can tell from the title of this video, I am super excited here about two different models that I got directly from coolicool.com. One of them obviously being here the UmiDigi Z1 Pro, and we also have another model which is called the Migo M1. These two devices I would say are a game changer for the USA market, and it is because of the fact that they are supporting more LTE bands, and they do support the LTE bands for AT&T and T-Mobile. It all happened when yesterday I got a package from DHL. I got home from work, which is the post office, so I sit down on my table as I am eating dinner. I open the devices, I start testing them. I log into the Play Store, I turn them on, blah, 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 and I plug in my SIM card. At first, nothing happened because I didn't have my APN settings on there, so I go directly into the settings and then I set all the APNs for T-Mobile and such, until all of a sudden I see 4G and then it says VoLTE, and I said, oh my god, this can't be. I was getting LTE, so I thought it was fake at first, so I went ahead and did a speed test on the phone, and I saw that I was getting over 20 megabits of download speed, even though in my house I don't have very good signal. So if I get out of the house, I get like 50 megabits of download speed, and I say, yes, I am getting 4G LTE. So then I take out the SIM card and test it on the Migo M1, and the same thing happens. So I am assuming that maybe these companies noticed that they were not providing the LTE bands here for the USA, and now they are giving that support. So this is a big game changer, guys, because normally on a daily basis I get at least 20 or 30 comments from USA buyers saying, AJ, it's a nice phone, I love it, I love the specs, but due to the fact that I'm not going to get 4G LTE and I'm only going to get 3G, I won't be buying the phone. So I think that, again, guys, this could be a game changer for the Chinese market and the USA market. I think they have a better chance of selling the devices here in the USA. But anyways, here is the box of the UmiDigi Z1 Pro, and they also have another model which I didn't get, which is the standard Z1, and the main difference is that the Z1 has an LCD display and the Z1 Pro has a Super AMOLED display, so that's really nice. Let's go ahead and set this box aside, and then here on this box we can see we have the UmiDigi logo, and it comes in this protector, and the inner box is even nicer. It has this little nice line designs, as you guys can tell. On the back here we can see some of the specifications. It comes with the Helio P20, also known as the MTK6757, clocked at 2.3 gigahertz octa-core, which is a pretty decent processor. It has the GPU, which is the Mali T880. It comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, the Android Nougat 7.0. It supports TF cards. It comes with a 4,000 milliamp battery. And having that Super AMOLED display gives them the chance to make it very thin. So this device is around 7 millimeters or 7.6 millimeters thick. We have a 5.5 Full HD Super AMOLED display, like I said before, and we have a 13 megapixel rear-facing camera with a 5 megapixel camera as well, because we had dual cameras on the back, and then a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So the LTE bands here are showing less than what it actually has. And I think that in the USA we need band B7, B17, and B20, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for it to work on LTE connections in the USA, and I think that this device is obviously supporting them. So we can also see there that it says UmiDigi Z1 Pro. Let's go ahead and flip this open here. It's a very weird box. I never seen this design before. So basically it sits on like this. So on here we can do have some accessories. Let's go ahead and check those out before pulling out the phone. We do have here a very big charger, and here it is. This is the power brick, and it does support fast charging. These are the specifications of it, but unfortunately, guys, I always get the European kind. I don't get the US kind, so I have to use an adapter. But there we can see on the top that it says fast charger, which is really cool. Then on the other side of the box here, or the corner of the box, we get the USB cable, I believe, and it looks very similar to the one provided by OnePlus, and it does have the USB Type-C, as you guys can tell right there. And that's pretty much it for all the accessories that this phone is going to come with. I believe the price is about $271 if you're getting a coupon on it, but I'm pretty sure that in the next month or so this phone is going to go below $200, which I think is definitely a steal, knowing that it will support 4G LTE here in the USA. I left my T-Mobile SIM card in there because I already opened the device, and checked it out, of course, as I usually do, guys, because some of these devices, they can come defective. So I have had that happening before. I started the video, I started the unboxing, and then when I went to start it, it didn't start. I thought it was the battery, but no, the phone was just dead on arrival. But anyways, there we have it for what comes inside of the box. We do get the manuals and all that boring stuff, but I'm not gonna even jump to that. Now here, guys, taking a look at the device, when I put it on angle, you guys can see that on this reflection it's showing like a greenish tint, and that's an indication that we do have a Super AMOLED display, which is something that I was looking forward to. So it comes with a case already. It's kind of cheap, so if you guys want something more protective, I would recommend getting it directly from the website Cool, as this is definitely a great investment here, guys, at least for this particular model. So yes, it does come with a case, but it's not the most protective, and it's a little flimsy. It's very cheap, just so you guys know. On the back here we have a sticker, so let's go ahead and pull this out. On the back side of the phone here, we can already see that 13 megapixel camera and the 5 megapixel sensor as well. We have the LED flash, the secondary microphone, the UmiDigi logo, and towards the bottom here it says designed by UmiDigi, Android smartphone assembled in China. On the right side, we have the volume rockers up and down with the power key, and you guys can already notice how thin this device is, and also the camera is a little bit protruded, but not too much. Keep in mind that this is a very thin device. Just look at the headphone jack, and you guys can tell that it is quite thin. And on the bottom here, we have the USB Type-C together with the loudspeaker and the main microphone. And then on the left side here, we got nothing but just a SIM tray, and it is going to be a dual standby device, and you can also upgrade the memory with a TF card. So on the front, we have a 5.5-inch display, like I said before, and it has the Corning Gorilla Glass number 3. On the front, we have the 5 megapixel sensor camera. We are going to get a notification LED light with the ear speaker. Now towards the bottom, they have decided to change this a little bit. This is a fingerprint scanner and also a task killer key. We're going to have a dedicated menu key and also a back key, which is something quite rare now that we have Android Nougat 7.0. They have pretty much replaced the menu key for a task killer key, so this time it's going to be a little bit different. So here we have already the phone with the boot up completed, and if you look here on the upper left hand side corner, you can tell that I am connected already with T-Mobile, and if you look on the upper right hand side corner, I do have VoLTE supporting on here. So unlocking the phone, you will notice that I have a pin already on here. That's because I have set up the fingerprint, and the fingerprint works very nicely. I hardly ever get any errors on it, but I do have to mention that it is quite slow, especially if you're using it straight from the phone being asleep. As you guys can see, there is about a second delay. So that's a little bit of a cons, but it's still, guys, we do have a fingerprint scanner that at least works. So this is the operating system. It's not entirely clean, and if you go here into settings, we will notice that it is running the Android Nougat 7.0, and there we can see it. And also we can tell that it does have 64 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. We can see the model there and all that good information. We do have that reddish tint, very common on Super AMOLED displays, as you guys can tell. It does support wireless updates, but as of right now, it has the latest update, and it was done on July. I think the latest one was created on July 3rd of 2017, as you guys can tell, so it is quite recent. As you guys can tell, I am having sometimes issues with the capacitive buttons on the bottom, but the good news is that you can always set up the on-screen buttons. So for that, you go here back into settings, you go to where it says buttons, you click here, you go into virtual buttons now, and there we have them. We have the back key, the menu key, and the home key located on the operating system. I don't prefer that method because it takes some space from here, so I rather have the capacitor buttons and just try to guess what they are. And the reason I get confused is not because they're not working properly, it's just because of the fact that they're not lit, meaning that they don't have lights underneath. So that causes a little bit of a confusion, but it still, guys, works. That's just a little thing that I decided to add it in case you guys were interested in knowing. So let's go back here into the physical buttons. So getting back here into settings, you guys can tell that they are quite basic. We don't have a lot of new features on here, except for the buttons. We have eyebrow mode, we have a door speed setting on here, and then here we can once again confirm the RAM and also the memory. And we have about 2 gigabytes used out of 6 on the RAM side, and about 15.63 gigabytes used of the 64 internal memory. Also, it comes here with the Play Store functioning great. I don't have any complaints whatsoever, and we have seen in the past that some or certain Chinese devices can have Play Store problems, especially with the Nubia device, as you guys saw. So that's why I like to mention that the Play Store and all the Google apps are working perfectly well. We do have here the loudspeaker, and the loudspeaker is about average. It's nothing to really brag about. So on here, let me see if I can actually log into my channel or just type here MyNJ. I don't have it logged in right now, so let's go here into MyNJ and let's try to play the latest video on here. Let me increase the volume. There we go. So this is what it sounds like.
What is going on, everybody? This is Jay here from UmiDigi. Today in this video I want to provide a quick update of the Nubia C17 with the Snapdragon 835. As you guys know, on my previous video of the Antutu benchmark test comparison and also the Geek benchmark for comparison, I mentioned that the major disappointment of the Nubia C17 was the fact that we didn't have the Play Store installed on here.
So guys, as you guys saw from that little demonstration that I just did, we can go on the quality up to 1080p 60 frames per second. That means that we do have a true 1080p display, and the YouTube application has a good reputation of actually confirming the true resolution, because sometimes Chinese can interpolate, you know, the specs telling you that it is a true 1080p display, like on the Doogie mix, but in fact it was a 720p display. So with this device, we can definitely tell that yes, it does have a true 1080p display. Something very cool. So let's go ahead and check here the remaining of the apps that I have on here, and I did completed the Antutu benchmark. Now with the Helio P20 is mainly a power saver more than a powerful processor. So you guys can see I only got a score of about 60,000, which is half of what a true flagship would score. But nevertheless, guys, it is still a very nice device. So here we can confirm some of the specs. It comes with the MTK 6757, the Mali T880 for the GPU, and so on and so forth. So it is still, guys, a very cool device for the price. I think that we can definitely take advantage that this phone supports 4G LTE, and at least myself, I have used it now for the past 2 days with the case, of course, and I've been very happy. The battery lasts a long time, and that's definitely another plus here for the UmiZ1. So let's go ahead and check here the camera. The camera in the back, we have a 13 megapixel sensor. The camera is not going to be the main attraction of the device. I got to be quite honest. If you guys are shooting pictures and videos in the daylight time, it's going to do perfect. In my opinion, it doesn't have optical image stabilization nor electronic stabilization. So the videos are going to look quite jumpy, especially if you guys are walking around. But it's still, the photos are acceptable, at least on my side. And then also we have the 5 megapixel sensor camera here, and as you guys can see, it does the job okay as well. I mean, it's nothing to really brag about, but at least we have it on here and everything seems to be working quite well. So I think that with this being said, guys, we have completed the unboxing and also the hands-on of the UmiZ1 Pro. And like always, if you guys do have any questions, you know exactly what to do. Just leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you think it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next one.